look for today on you? Did you
I
have
think,
one?
I think Zoka and Nam, we need to see what they're going to do, right? Because they're a team that have come out hot out the gates throughout their group. They were very impressive. And I'd say Avangar as well. But Avangar definitely got off to a better start than what Zoka and Nam had managed to do.
And they haven't gone flying down south this time around. I thought they were going to full-on commit to Sarki, but this time around seems like they do not want to go all the way up there.
So they did Primorse before, right? So maybe there's a decision based on where the plane's going, and they're going to keep going between Zaki and Primorse and just hold it like that. Could be just down to their prerogative, maybe because they want to take some challenges. But once again, Besiktas have now gone to trying to take the Gatka area, but they've actually forced their ways off now towards the western side, while Seven have got full control of it.
I mean, looking at this right now, it makes sense that you can have a Gatka team and you have a southern team, but a Gatka, a West Coast split, a Quarry, or Prim split team, a Hospital split team, and a South George team, that is a lot of teams on the west side. Look at the east. I mean, there's no one out there. If you go anywhere north via Snaya, we have one team that's quick math.
It's just crazy. Unity are going to go for their normal Novo spots, so no problem there, but the rest of the military bases, again, just going to be left empty. So no one's wanted to take it just yet. We're going back over towards Milta Power with a bit of military base in there. It's still partially in there, but the whole western circle is empty again.
This is absolutely insane. There's so much room for teams to maneuver on the east right now, but look at the amount of teams that will have to somehow figure out how the hell do we make this puzzle work and get our way in. Because if you're Avangar right now, honestly, I think you might want to consider is take boats or just go over military to sort of access the east side, because there's going to be so many teams to find your way through.
This is going to be very interesting on how this goes down. And honestly, Unity, they're going to be sat there. Okay, they're already making their way over to Nova, but they'll be sitting there saying, all right, once again, it's gone in our favor. It's again 50-50 of where it could go. Majority is likely to go north, right? We're going to stay away from that water eventually. But knowing our luck, knowing circles, the madness could happen.
You never know.
We can sit there and go, okay, it did work out.
No guarantees. No guarantees at all when it comes to circles in PUBG. And well, just looking at it here, I mean, there's nobody sitting in mansion. You have the entire shield area completely up for grabs. It's going to mean that for the first couple of teams that come into this one, they will be like, oh, there's so much room to work around. Let's just go dead center. If they don't do that, though, if they just say, oh, I guess this compound, it's somewhat on the edge, but we'll settle for that. That's fine for now. That means that for the next teams that try to come in, there will be no space for them to move in whatsoever. So, yeah, it's going to be fun to see, especially the West Coast teams, how in the hell they're planning on these rotations.
If you're Avangar, right, you're going to be sat there and saying, there's been a lot of Milta Power circles. There's no teams dropping Milta Power, and we are now avoiding having to play it from that position. Yeah. I'm thinking they're going to sit there and go, maybe we do change things around at some point, because, Zaki, we saw him do in the groups. It wasn't kind of that much of a change for us. But now they're realizing, well, wait a sec, people aren't really challenging it.
Yeah, I mean, 7, it was a plane that, I mean, they could have gone to power with that plane, and they had a similar one yesterday as well. But I think the thing is, once the plane comes in from the west, they prioritize landing earlier and starting their loot phase earlier. Because just the time it takes for the plane to get all the way from Gatka over towards Milta Power, by the time that the plane is by Milta Power, they will already be on the ground looting, right? So it's going to be a lot of time they don't really get to loot if they commit all the way over to Milta Power, where we've seen them before. So I would assume, like, if we get a plane in from the east side, that's where 7 would probably want to go.
So it's the waiting game. Maybe there will be a fight for Milta Power at some point. We'll have to wait and see.
We'll see.
Depending on where these planes do decide to go. Now, Reciprocity on your screens at the moment. They are a team that have really come to life already. They're at the top spots, but it's just the amount of points they managed to get, which was more than impressive.
You want to hear a secret? I was there the other day, 3 days ago, right where they are right now.
And it's literally identical as well.
It is exactly the same. It has that same clock, too, on the wall. That is, I mean, for those of you guys who ever come anywhere near Kiev or Ukraine, go to Chernobyl. I mean, I found a few of those. I mean, you can go see videos online and all that good stuff as well, but I found a few where it was like, wait, that's the same. I see what they did there, kind of things, but there's got to be more. I mean, there's got to be so many more things. And Mailman now, we've talked about him a lot. His great skills when it comes to shooting, but of course you don't shoot a lot when you're driving a buggy. Fortunately, though, able to get away.
Yeah, he heard the shots coming out, so Zera was like, you best back away, I'm already here, mate, and he'll just cruise his way back down with his team, but it does give him the information that, okay, Desperados are out and about.
Yeah.
They are up there, we can be a little bit more cautious, and like you said already, this area of the map is very, very clustered. They are so close together, that it isn't really going to give you much options to move around and out-scout each other.
And that's the thing, right? Because once these teams start coming in from the outside, or like further out, to take some of the compounds that are even further out of the center than where they are, should you see a next circle hard shift to either end, for the guys that are sitting in the middle right now, for them to rotate out from that, it's going to be really tough because there's going to be people all around them.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Now, that's not one you see all too often. Ivor will be there to quickly go pick him back up. But given how contested this part of the area is, this is a little bit awkward that he could be picked off from afar. And that's what's happening. He's been spotted. He made an error. And Orange Snow, luckily, doesn't have a scope on, but he's still trying to go for it. Fair play.
Gotta take the shots. Gotta take the shots, you know. Long range where that is allowed right there. And as you said yourself, fortunately, there are no scopes on that one, because that would have been an easy kill in the middle of the open.
Yeah, if he had like even a 4 times there, he would be laughing.
Just a 2x would have helped him, yeah, anything.
He was getting ever so close of it. And this is why you can't make these kind of mistakes, right? We keep talking about it with the vehicles. You've got to play so cautiously. Little mistakes like that could see them go down a player early on without any sense of trying to actually fight back.
Yeah, exactly. No retaliation coming in. You just cannot risk losing players like that. Of course, you can fall on a bike, happens, but you can get really unfortunate in where he decides to do so. Vasco tries to rotate around, gets hit once by Orange. Deep now going down as well, so Besiktas getting in on the action a little early on here. Talked a lot about Besiktas yesterday as well, how they just, I mean, they couldn't seem to figure out what they really wanted to do early on.
They were in a bit of a rough spot of like, all right, people keep going where we're going. We don't want this. We want to have a little bit of more time on our hands. Now they found Northern Lights rotating down to them from South Georgia Pole, and they'll be able to say, all right, cool, we can take you on a little bit here. Maybe potentially get some extra frags. They've started off with 1, but is this just going to be a sign now to Northern Lights that they'll back away? As Orange Snow, he's watching the Zokin Nam players. He's still trying to tap away, and he's like, come on, why could I not have a scope by now? I just dream of a scope, and I could have done so much more damage.
Look at this, they sucked it. Nam, they have gone from one fight straight into another. Tornado Energy, they're sitting inside, they're waiting, and Kamka is missing a lot of bullets. Does get the knock onto 1, but it's gonna be too little, too late. Down he goes immediately after.
Very solid refrag there from Zokin Nam. That is what you like to see, right? Because that could have been a very awkward situation where one player rushes in, gets picked off. They're playing it in 2s, which means they are able to take some extra control here. But it's really down to see what Tornado do to react to this. Are they going to bother to try fight for any position, or will they just back away? Problem is, backing away at this point, there's already so many teams around you. So you are kind of now fighting for space that is more than vital.
You got to go further east, or maybe take the compound that you already have 1 player in. Just, you know what, you could have gone for that 2-2 split. Now you lost 1 guy in doing so. Just commit to the 3 guys together and hope that you get a couple of circles in your direction.
Besiktas still want to take these shots. Avangar, only Azvarin has started to move thus far. That means the rest of them are a little bit further behind. Now, Azvarin is always used as the scout in this. Problem is, there's many teams around this area. He needs to be ever so careful to back away if it does get too hot for him, because there could be a lot of pressure applied.
I mean, Avangar's not in a hurry to get inside the circle. We see them so many times, circle 2, even circle 3 sometimes, they'll be maneuvering around. Not far out into the blue, obviously, but I mean, they're also the team that on Miramar, they'll go all the way up north to loot, even though it's a southern circle. So they're clearly not in a hurry, but I mean, in an area of the map like this, where compounds and like getting a good spot is so important, they might just want to watch out how long they do spend outside this one.
Now, Seacorg, hot on the heels of QuickMath here. I'm hoping QuickMath realise this, because they don't want to be thinking a little bit too careful and say, all right, we've got this part of Lipovka and be able to sit there and chill. We want to make sure that actually we're keeping our eyes about us and saying, hey, this team's falling up. Could be anywhere. Could be coming to attack us. We need to be ready, because QuickMath is a team that didn't really shine much yesterday when we thought we'd see a little bit better from them.
This circle goes dead center, excludes the military island as well, so we will now know, at least if you're the 2 remaining players in Unity, where you'll be forced to go. And here you go, Avangar, actually. They do manage to make their way on over towards military, so doing what we thought they might, taking that slow approach to it and saying, you know what, we know there's one place that people won't be contesting each other, and that's out on the island.
And Avangar likes to wait for this, right? They'll come into the fights once it's already going off. You see Unity making their way up from Nova. They've got that bridge control, but they're battling off against Unique at the moment. And the thing is, Orange Snow, he's already taking shots onto Zen as they pass, so his position is going to be known here as well, most likely. But Unique, they're going to be starting off strong with the first knock. Can they pick up the kills here? He's out in the open.
Unique and Yubiga trying to see if they can sort of do things against each other. His CIS teams both in each their side of the road. That that Molotov, not exactly far enough, but a little more throwing on that arm.
You shall not pass the flames.
But look at the stats. He's actually taking shots from inside the city too, so they're in all kinds of trouble right now, Unity.
No. And that nade came out towards him as well. Rough spot for him. Blastor's taking some damage as well. Teams are looking to pick Unity apart, and they've got nowhere to hide. They cannot find the cover, and they're soon going to have Erangel coming up from behind them.
And that's the thing, right? Because T-Serene, he's trying to split off on the other side down towards the Novo side of things. They wanted to get full bridge control, but Unique kind of just came into the middle of everything and said, well, you guys are split off. Now what you going to do about it? And then they took them out.
This is the difference, right? Unique are all together here, where Blaston is just sitting there saying, okay, this is a bit rough now. I am running out of ideas on where I can go from here. And you've also got on your screens at the moment, Mayacho, sit there for Northern Lights, and he's in a rough spot. He's got all of Besiktas around him and no teammates.
Just waiting, trying to stall it out, hope that his teammates can do something. But they're making their way down towards military as well. So Northern Lights, for the first time in the finals at least, making their way back towards where it all began, to the military side of things. See Blaston caught underneath the bridge right now. I'm not sure exactly what the plan is for him here.
Blaston is sat there saying, just leave me alone, please. Come on, be nice. It's the first game of the day.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to make mistakes. I definitely erred here.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not the kind of position he would want it to be in, but now I see Vietnam up against 7. Fancario has gone down, won't get a rest either. There you go, Vasco, full pull up on towards the compound from the team, and they, of course, want to get in and get the position, because there's a good spot to sit in, and there's so much control as they can take over Milta, the better the position they're going to be in.
Havoc took a huge nade down. He's on 19 health now. Needs to close that door and get himself healed back up. More grenades coming out towards him, and he's being applied pressure massively here.
Raining on in those grenades. He's not that confident in anything up there. Only has 5 bandages to work with too. Not exactly the most opportune situation for him to be in. Does have a smoke to throw down. Maybe buy some a little more time, buys his teammates some more time to come over and help.
Yeah, that's exactly what he needs to do, right? It's just waiting and waiting and praying Zoka and Nam aren't going to push up into it. He needs to see that the rest of his team get close by and can try and pick Zen off while they're trying to approach this building.
Actually getting a surprisingly high amount of time to do this one, but you can see Vietnam, they want to control it, but they do not want to over-aggress on it. It's too early to go for these crazy places. It's a good position and good building to be in, but there's no reason whatsoever for them to really go that aggro on the spot right now.
Now, Buster Travel's given away his position. He took a first few shots, couldn't make him connect, so he is making it aware of his position fully there. This circle pops, and it just goes outside of Milta Power. Still overall, looking good for a lot of the teams still within it. Stella's going to have to find their way back in. Same for the Besiktas and Unique and Avangard. They're just sitting on the edge, still in the blue, still in Novo. They're not going to cross just yet.
Not Desperado with a chance of the third party on this one. Edelweiss gets himself a knock on towards Page. Might be able to finish him off with that nade there. Nope. Not quite yet, but more and more teams are starting to realize what's happening down here, and they're wanting to get their piece of the pie.
Oh, more damage coming in. Good hold of position there. And that's it, right? The rest of Zokanama in the house or just around it, while they've got backup coming from the side, which means that they can kind of give the information off here. And this actually forces 7 into a rough spot. He doesn't know where to look or where's safe.
They're trying to share this one little house, but there's not a whole lot to be shared. Edelweiss all by himself. Does have Buster outside, but it's going to be really hard for him to really do anything from here. Smash Bay headshot towards him as well as Stella tries to push on up the hill, but right now it's 7, and it's Vietnam squaring things off. Edelweiss lives to see another day, at least for now. Vasco, though, alongside Page, they're trying to make the push on up.
Zokanam down 1 player. Buster Travel still applying that pressure. Just keeping him at bay. You can see him every now and again when they poke and give the information to his teammate.
Make the best of a horrible situation. There sure is one right there. Oh, that's a good nade right there.
Wow.
Right in between an Octave and Aspirin. And, well, there's not a whole lot you can do to counter that.
Yeah, Avangard maybe going down early here. Max doesn't have that much health himself. He's being tapped up just a little bit. He's trying to spray back onto AK Bro, but it's not going to work out. The nade does come out, but it's going to be all up to one more player.
I'm sitting and looking where Snoopy's out there.
He's there. He's just tapping away, trying to keep him alive. He's done some damage onto Perfectix. Then actually, Perfectix gets finished off by Blaston. Now they're sat and they're just using the edges of the car just underneath to shoot through. And okay, bro, Northern Lights and Avangard here. They put themselves in a rough spot with this little battle.
Yeah, none of them really got anything out of this whole skirmish. I mean, they're both down to 1 or 2 players alive. Unfortunately, I guess you can say, Miyacho is actually inside the circle, really far up on the northern side. So for OK Bro, at least he has that working for him. But for Snoopy, well, I mean, this is going to be a tough one, that's for sure.
OK Bro, he wants to find Snoopy. He wants to be able to eliminate Avangard. He's just waiting for him to make a mistake or move out here. Snoopy taking circle damage. They know he has to go eventually. And soon enough, this is going to be just too much damage for them to handle.
He has 1 first aid remaining. He wants to go for the loot, but Snoopy is sitting right there saying, yep, it ain't gonna happen, buddy. I will not allow for you to do that. And lands the headshot right there. But at what cost? 2 bandages left for him. Sure, he can get some meds from his friends, but that's 1 more kill stolen by Unity.
And the blast on sat there going, yep, lads, you just keep fighting. I'll wait and I'll get some extra kills here.
Out on the bridge, shooting towards them right now. That's not something you see done too often.
Oh, man, and then once again, we go pretty much dead center for the circle. Reciprocity right in it, as of inside games, and Tornado. It's going to keep Zen just on the outskirts, and they're fighting off the Seekers who are looking to come back into this, while still having 7 close by.
Most of Milta has been excluded. Still got Milta power inside, at least a small aspect of it. Page, once again, getting himself knocked. Somehow 7 is still alive in this. I thought they were going to go down and out earlier, but right now it's actually a, well, I guess you can say a fair 2v2, but the time they are spending here, the same amount of time Desperado and other teams are using to move around them.
And this is huge. Buster Travel has been in that house for so long, been able to do so much damage and not even poking out, right? He's just playing it from the window, very smart, very calculated, and it is certainly working out for him. Now, Snoopy, he's going to risk it on the bike. He's going to take a lot more damage. He's going to try and get himself some further meds, but this damage is too much at this point. He'll only be able to keep himself alive for a little bit longer, and he's got quite a way to go. Blast on, has he backed away just yet, or is he still on that bridge?
He's still out there somewhere.
Oh, God, he's waiting.
He's still out there somewhere. 7 first aid for Snoopy. Gotta pop himself 1 more. Gotta pop first aid, Snoopy. 4 ticks per... or 4 damage per tick. You cannot wait for it. Blasphemy is just sitting down on the other side saying, come on, I'm running out of health here, Snoopy. Start driving already.
Oh.
And he goes down the second before Snoopy comes up there.
Timing. And Snoopy is going to really struggle to get out of this.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really tough. 6 first stage remaining still. Should be possible to get in. I mean, he has a bike and all, and Circle's only now hitting Milta. So it should be possible for him to get on in there. Blast on it's going to seem like, oh, why couldn't you come here a little earlier?
He has a little look at him and he says, all right, I'll just heal myself up again. Probably just wait for this all to go down. And then when I rush in, at least you'll probably have the information that I've just crawled across.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough break for him, last player alive, and there are still 16 teams in it. I would not expect to see him get into the placement points, but then again, I mean, crazier things has happened before.
We'll pull the Phantom.
Pull Phantom, exactly. Got himself a 2nd place in the game that seemed very unlikely yesterday.
And Vasquez's position here, just waiting for someone to poke out a little bit too far. Buster Travel gets knocked by Desperados who've come into this, and they're just a little bit further away. This says to Vasquez, okay, can I sneak in? Can I do some damage? But Hidrix hits him through the window. Everyone is aiming in this direction, and Zoka Nub cannot catch a break.
They're taking fire from so many angles. Everybody's aware that Milta has been a place of fire over the last little while. Now Simsy from far off says, Erangel, you are going down in 16th place, despite Snoopy's great effort and use of a billion first aids did not get him inside the circle.
Well, actually, though, he's gone down as well from Stella, which means that Northern Lights are being completely eliminated as the first team gone after that, just where you see Erangel go down as well.
Also, a quick thing to note is that it's 2 Western teams that died early on in this sort of circle. Just because, I mean, they had to think so much more about how they wanted to rotate.
Yeah.
I would be surprised to see the same amount of teams on the West Coast next game.
Let's see if they do adjust. Let's see if they do change things around as we look at We Need a Home. Waiting for Stella to come into him, and now Stella still have to push their way inside the circle, and it is starting to close in on them. 20 seconds to go for that one before it's going to start moving in and actually do some extra damage to these guys, and that's where they're going to be in a rough spot, right? Because, yes, Stella can try and move and force this, but We Need a Home, and they've got a little compound to play from. They can fight off this, and they can keep things going for a little bit longer here.
Stella is a team that activated complete beast mode in that final game of the group stages where they qualified themselves. Very exciting one. Again, if you're not seen it, please do go over and watch the game. But once again, this battle that has now happened for the last 15 minutes is potentially coming to end within seconds. Buster trying to hold off Vasco 1v1, who is going to take the pride home of Milta. It's going to be succeed now.
7 get eliminating these 2 teams. They just battled back and forth against each other, but it's only Vasco who's going to be left alive as Smash Bay spraying on down, finds himself the first, looks in for the second. Moldman pushes straight into it. Can he get Sigsy as well? Sigsy replies, does a lot of damage, but now he's on his own, and you're going to watch this. Polyderic getting ready, the nades coming out as well, and they know they need to back away. They cannot take this fight.
And you gotta figure when you want to do what here, because the circle is closing on in, but in the end, that nade was too much for Sigsy to handle. Blew him up just on the edge there. Besiktas now full speed forward. They want to get a circle center position, and well, at least right now it seems like they're able to do so, but Fake is not going to have easy.
Now Desperados Forcing this push onto Besiktas. They're out their vehicles now. They're going to have to try and take these fights. 3D match coming onto inside games. Phantom's up close and personal. And okay, Noki, just a little bit close. Too close for comfort.
There are many bad timings for these sort of pushes and getting knocking on each other, but you don't want to do it while you're trying to breach a building, that's for sure. Inside games, 2 guys here trying to do everything they can to hold off the 3D Max players. It's not going to be easy though, that's for sure.
Tornado Energy are making it hard for him as well. This is complete gang up. Noki has got his teammate in the building. He's just on the outside. This is going to be a hard push to get done.
They're trying to stay alive outside here as well. Peltish and Tuo Yuho doing everything they can to keep them in base. So this is pretty much what's going on all over the circle right now. Everyone's trying to contest for compounds and try to not get shot by other people while they're doing so.
They can hear what's going on. Everyone's on that waiting. Making a little bit too much noise. Show yourself just an inch. Give us an arm, give us a leg. We will be taking you down. Waggo rolls up to the party a little bit late and says, "Oh, sorry, boys. Yep. About time I got involved, you know."
There you go. They're all here. They're all ready now. And the question is going to be, do they want to push on this or do they just want to settle with sitting outside? It kind of makes sense for them to do, because should the next circle not include this compound, there's no reason to really go on inside. Tuho, keeping off play with me, trying to cross the road. He would not allow that to happen.
Now, the good thing for Unique here is that they can try and take this 2v1 against multiple opponents. But it's still going to be rough. 3D Max entering perfectly here. Can they do any damage? Zampi gets himself the first one, but then the reply frag's in there instantly. Noki's still up. They're looking for the other players to try and pounce on him.
Still one player sitting upstairs. It's a question of whether or not Sunday wants to peek. It's not going to happen though. Phantom secures himself a knock with the AK, and that is going to be 2 players from Inside Games out. I'm looking for the last ones. That's actually Ostra and Ostra Lovak. And his teammate, they're sitting, inside the wizard up there.
So the split for Inside Games didn't work out, but Ostrolovac has taken plenty of shots over towards Unique and Quick Math here, having their own little battle. And this isn't just third partying. This is just, you think you've got a chance. It's a fair battle, team versus team, and then all of a sudden from the distance, one player is just tapping away from far. But no one is really, like, you're not having 4-man pushes go head to head on this.
Quickmath trying to buy themselves some time to get the res on up here. Should be able to do that. Rubicon now pushing in though. Tuo Yuho under a lot of pressure. Is pushing by himself. Does have a teammate now. Pushing in with him. Drainies wants to go and get himself a knock. Does manage to do so as well. Great play by Drainies and Rubicon in getting themselves a knock and a finish off.
And this is the problem that Quickmath faced, right? Is that they're all sat there one by one in buildings, and that meant that Unique can play the 2v1 every single time if they want to. They just have to get this close. Now Peltz, he's sat there waiting. He's hoping they're going to come down soon. He's been pretty quiet about it. He's got Jupesig just on his back, giving him some cover. But is it going to be enough here?
Circle has started closing in already, and we know these guys, they will have to leave this area. It's shifted even further up towards the lumber mill area, at least what's left of it. Now jumping out the window, Ubica trying to do something when he gets off the first one, but not a whole lot more to it than that. Unfortunately for him, will go down, but so will Quickmath. No victors in the battle of the compound down there.
And this is the problem. They're fighting, they're going in for kills, but these placements aren't going to work out because you were getting picked apart. You were very open and exposed once again. And talk about open and exposed, that's kind of where we're getting towards the end of this circle. It's going to be once again a very open circle here, Toby.
Yeah, see compound trash taken down by the sneaky snake and Tizrin. Return fire did come in from Waggo though, so fortunately not a whole lot more to it than that. Desperado as well have had some crazy games in the qualifiers, had some good games yesterday as well, and now they're trying to see if they can take down the current first place team in Reciprocity, all sitting inside the shag up here, or the wizard I guess you should say.
Their position is very well known. As soon as they make any movement, as soon as they start to shoot back, other teams are going to go in on them. Desperados are getting close, looking to try, but Besiktas still working their way up. You can see them playing around the rocks here, just looking for any sort of an angle to play from here.
Max, they're pushing in from the south. You got 5 teams on the southern side down here, all trying to figure how the hell do we fit in all these players. Besiktas, the currently furthest western team with those 5. Sitting, I guess everyone's kind of just waiting for the circle to pop right now. Really, nobody really wants to rotate before they know they're forced to.
But Desperado's got 1 player knocked. They now can't take the battle with Besiktas, who have got Tornado hot on their heels. Got inside games close by, and Reciprocity are going to have to move real soon. It's only Seacorg that are currently in the circle. Everyone else has to work their way in, and look how much control Seacorg have there. This is actually huge from them. 2 players just right down towards the south, 2 players up on the west, a little bit northwest, and they'll be able to just shoot down on anyone that's trying to come in.
Really nice split they've got going, full control of this. So what is going on? Tomil comes over the top, gets himself a knock onto 1. Ultra, last remaining player, needs to do some damage. Combat's trying to make the run up, but not gonna happen. Very impressive by Ultra. Good reaction coming in there, but look at who's looking to get something off of that one. Desperado, they saw the shots, they heard the commotion, and they're gonna say, thank you guys, we will secure ourselves some points off of that.
And that's the smart play there by Desperados, right? Don't try and challenge Reciprocity as they move out. Go for the kills where you know they're probably going to be wounded and low on numbers. Keep your 4 players up and running. And they're now heading towards the 2 players of Inside Games that are left out there, who are taking a lot of shots over towards the 3D Max team, who are just working their way inside the circle. Seacorg, though, just sat there looking around saying, okay, look, you guys have got to all come to us. We've got massive control here, and we're going to make it work, as Barlos does manage to get the knock onto Wago there.
Gotta give credit where credit's due, though. 5 games in the finals have now been played, and we have seen this. We have seen Reciprocity so far in the top 3 of all of them. Right now in the top 5 once again.
Impressive stuff from this team, and this is what we expected to see from names like this, right? This is what we expected Reciprocity to be able to deliver, and things are certainly starting to change around for them. Furax getting involved though, 3D Max under heavy pressure, and Desperados have come onto Inside Games. The moment they moved, they were ready to react, and that nade is looking tasty.
Everybody knew they were sitting inside. It was just a matter of waiting for them to make the move on out. Tosera is making the run on up now. Take it down immediately. The finish off will come in as well, I believe. Nope, not gonna happen. He's down to just 1 little tick down there. Able to get back up on his feet. 3D Max will go for the rest here as well. And now for Reciprocity, it's pretty much the only team not engaged in a fight currently.
Well, they might find themselves engaged in one soon. They're heading towards Ness and Barlos, as you guys can see, and this would be very unfortunate for Seacorg. They are playing the smart split at the moment, but 2 players are very focused on 3D Max, and they could just be overrun here and lose all that space control. They need to be oh so cautious here. They're focusing on Desperados as well. The information's coming, but no one has any understanding of where Reciprocity are at the moment.
That's the thing, right? You want to get as much info as you possibly can and look at the positioning for Desperados. 1 well-thrown nade could be a full team wipe down there. And for Seacorg, well, they're kind of pinned down in each their position and can't really get to one another. Look at how far apart they are right now. The only way this split will really work is if somebody try to push from in between them. If not, then it's going to be really, really difficult for them to really do anything. Reciprocity, Skumanek said, now trying to take control of the teams that are pushing up from underneath.
I think what Seacorg needed to do was get that initial kills that they did onto 3D Max and then just back away and group up, because now they're split. That means as soon as anyone tries to get back together, they're going to be picked apart. The other teams have completely surrounded you now. Shiv's position is huge here, though, which is going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. As Desperados going full focus on Seacorg, all 4 players coming together. They need to check behind these rocks, and Sunzy Ninja does not have much health to play with. He's quickly trying to get himself medded up, and he is able to pull it off. But Desperados, they are on the hunt.
You got to prioritize your fights, and looking at the way that Coldamenta and Tausera and the guys from Desperados are rotating right now, it sure seems they know exactly what they're going into, and it looks like way right now as well.
No, 3D Max have come up into it. Phantom's there. He's got Noki with him. The nades are coming out as well. Desperados under heavy fire. Sunzy Ninja still alive. Furax may go down, but Seacorg are still well within a chance as Desperados are eliminated in 4th. This battle is not done yet, and Reciprocity are large and in charge.
Sunzy taken down there as well. Once again, we're seeing the issues that Seacorg kind of got from that split. Not easy to really make anything off of that when they're so far apart. Ness and Barlos had no chance of helping. Now that's a headshot coming in from Shiv. Not a whole lot more to it than that. And once again, Ness not in a position to really help out.
No, as soon as Ness pokes up, he's going to be found. He does manage to get himself at least 1 knock. Raffi's there, though, and Ness not moving. Not even going to budge an inch. He's waiting for it. He knows as soon as he pokes up, it's going to be lights out for him. Good placements of the smokes coming out here from Raffi. And Reciprocity, they are completely ready for this.
That's the M249 in hand. If there's any weapon you want to spray with, that is this one. He's up against 3 players, so it's not going to be easy. There's still 3 teams alive, and for the 5th time in a row, Reciprocity is in a top 3 position.
This is nuts. The consistency is more than perfect for Reciprocity. They're getting it done as soon as Seacorg poke out. Ness jumps up, he gets taken out, and both kills go the way of Reciprocity. Now it's up to Phantom and Noki to see what they can do. And these are 2 skilled players, but they've now been seen. They've already been shot at, and 55 damage coming his way.
One of the things I'm the most impressed by is that we've had such a big variation in circles. And still, I mean, it doesn't matter where on the map you go, Reciprocity will make it into the final games.
Yeah, they keep just delivering over and over again. 4v2, 3D Max are going to have to start moving ever so shortly, and they're going to take some serious damage if they don't get their heals running off now, as Noki taking a few shots here against Shiv. It's managing to tag him up a little bit, but Noki's taking circle damage. He can't afford to just sit there and tank it. He's just going to allow himself to go down. Phantom dies out to it. They don't want to give any more points to Reciprocity.